Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, we're doing another corner shower here. So, first of all, I can't get the one that I did downstairs. If you watched my other video on a corner shower, I can no longer get that, at least at my Home Depot. Whether or not you'll be able to get it at yours, who knows. Second of all, I have had some leaks in that, which is part of the reason I'm doing what I'm about to show you. And third, go watch my update video. It tells you more about why. There are a couple things I did wrong in that video that I think caused me to have some leaking issues. Nothing super bad, but more than you would want, especially in an upstairs one where it's going to start leaking downstairs. So, beyond that, hopefully you enjoy this. I am going to do this one. Is going to be the complete surround and shower, just like I did on the last one, so it'll probably be a couple videos there. But unlike the last one, I'm actually going to show you the plumbing, both how to put it in the manifold system, the shower head, and also the drain all the way to the floor in the basement. I'm going to show you all the plumbing and that. So there'll be some separate videos on those, and probably a couple videos on that. We'll see how this goes. There's the pan there. It is the cheap one at Home Depot. It comes in the plain brown box with no name on it. It says 38-inch Neo Angle shower base, 38 by 38. Does say made in the USA. And that's the cheaper one. What I did is I took the cheapest base, because it was 38 by 38, and bought the more expensive back piece here. Now it is at Home Depot as well. The Delta 38 by 38 fits corner showers. And it is made in the USA as well, but it technically is not supposed to go with this base. But I checked the base that goes with it, and the measurements are almost identical. This one's just, can't remember if it was a little bigger or a little smaller. I mean, in the 1/4 inch, type range. So I'm going with this. This is where I say, if you do anything I do and it doesn't work for you, I'm not responsible. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, don't do it. Basically where the base needs to be now, and that everything hopefully to this point is going to work out. So I know my hole for my drain needs to be in this area right here. I've already gone down below, and I do know I have some gas lines down there, so I got to be careful that way. They're quite a way, they're 3 or 4 inches down, so I'm not too worried about it, but got to be careful. You want to make sure you know what you're drilling through. I've already taken and marked this with a pencil here, and now you can kind of see what the bottom of this looks like. It appears to be basically a foam core of some sort with a wooden bottom. I'm pretty happy with it. It seems a lot more solid than the one that we have downstairs as far as that's concerned. Although I haven't really had any problems with that one. My wife does complain that every now and then it kind of creaks underneath her feet, so she's a little worried about it. But to that measure, so far we've been happy with it. But just, well, because I glued this flooring to here, it wouldn't go down quite all the way through, and I tried knocking that piece out. I wound up breaking the board here. It just kind of split a little bit. You can see it's an old board, and there was a knot there. Of course, I drilled in the very perfectly wrong spot that I could want it to be, right below this. I mean, that's just maybe slightly this way, but there are different fittings out there, so if you're going through the same problem as me, hopefully we'll be able to figure this out together. I got the pan in, got the hole drilled, and because of the gas pipe there, I had to go by this. I'm hoping this will work for me. So I actually had to get that at Lowe's. They didn't have it at Home Depot or the Ziggy's that I go to. So anyhow, that's where I had to go find it if you need this. And the first snafu here, with this sticking down, it actually doesn't go through the hole here. I actually need to cut for that extra. I think the body of it will go through this part, but this little part here, lights on here, this extra part here I need to cut out for. So I'm going to take my Sawzall and carefully cut this hole more of an oval type shape. Well, more proof that I know that's the place. Got the drain in kind of where it needs to be now. This isn't a finished product, so I will show you how to put that in later on, but right now I'm doing it for the plumbing and the testing to see if this is even going to work. Well, YouTube, couldn't have come any closer. We're actually kind of touching here. I'm hoping there's no issues with codes and being right next to the gas pipe right here, but if there is, I guess I'll have to probably move the gas pipe would be my next thing, but for right now this is what we're going to go with. I definitely had to get that piece there that brings it over. Like I said, if you're in this kind of situation, it made the difference. So I could actually get my P-trap down in here and it's going to shoot off and actually wind up going into there, and then I'm going to have to drill through here, come over, and head that way. Well, YouTube, we're to the point where I need to put this drain in here, and like I mentioned before, I had to use a different kind of one. And basically, underneath this, on this part here, you're going to have the bottom part of the drain and this kind of what looks like a cardboard piece here. That goes on the bottom. Then on the top, you have the gasket that comes with it and the main drain. And that's going to go on this side through here like that. And this one is going to screw on, hopefully, the way I want it. Now I have a mark, because this is a different piece, I actually have a mark on here and a mark here where I need these to line up the best I can so that it matches up with my plumbing. There's a little bit of forgiveness in there, so to speak, but I still want it as close as I can. Now I gotta find my mark. But anyhow, you take that, oh there it is. You're gonna take that and you're just gonna, I'm hand doing it as tightly as I can by hand. This last little bit, if you turn it this way, tends to tighten it pretty good. Now I know there's tools and things you can get that'll, for the wrenches, I may need to do that in the future, but right now I'm pretty happy with that, and if I need to tighten it more I can. And what I'll have to do is I showed you me drill this hole here. I actually drilled it bigger, and had I read the directions better, you're supposed to have a 5-inch hole there for future reference. And I actually made it just a little bit bigger because of this, and it's so I can get up in here and from the bottom tighten or loosen or remove and install a new one if this one has a problem later on down the road. Whatever I need to do, I went ahead and made that hole bigger so I have more access. There's our new kitty Marty, and I really don't want him falling down there. Anyway, so there's that. It's pretty simple. The hardest part is figuring out where you need that to line up with the plumbing below. Now, if you're not like me and you don't need that type of fitting, this is where you would have your plumbing coming up through the middle of that hole. However far your specific drain needs to be. But for mine, this is what I got to do, and it is, I would say, a little harder. Now I do have the drain downstairs that I put in, and I can't remember, I believe I did do this part of it. So go check out my Lowe's shower surround if you want to learn how to do that. I believe that's in one of those videos. Now we got that down there for right now. And surprisingly, this, I mean, I don't need shims in here. This is fitting really nice in here. I've also taken a level to it, and it's very level, especially this way. It's a little bit, I believe, towards the corner on the other side there, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with this. And it's so minute that I'm just not going to worry about it. Now, this is where you would take, and if your floor was not flat or straight or anything like that, then you need to put it in a bed of mortar it talks about on the instructions. I'm not going to do that. But also the instructions say if you do not do that, that you want to use construction adhesive to set it to the floor. And you can do what you want to do, If you don't like the way I'm doing it, don't do it, and I'm not responsible if you do and something doesn't work right. But I'm not going to put the construction adhesive down because we're going to go ahead and drill the holes in here in the corners here, or by the studs here. I got to drill all those out and put, it says panhead screws in mine. It also says 1.5 inches, and I got 1.25 inch screws, but that's what I'm going to use. And then, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, the flooring is going to come up to this and kind of hold that in where it needs to go too. So I'm not too worried about it moving around too much. It seems very solid, what's underneath it, but yet again, the reason I'm doing that is if I ever have problems in the future and I need to do some work on it, I'm putting this here just to kind of protect it, so if I'm in here working on it, I'm good. But like I said, it's not moving around. It's pretty sturdy and solid. I'm real happy with this actual floor piece, to be honest, or pan, I should say. It seems fairly well constructed. But if I ever have to do work on it in the future, it's not going to be impossible to pry it up, and I'm not going to destroy things trying to fix it later on in the future, because let's face it, nothing's made to last these days. So, you know, this is only going to last so long, and even if it's not me working on it, it might help the guy. And the drain there, that's where I'm going to go ahead and stop. And next time we'll be dealing with the walls and the mixer and plumbing, all that kind of stuff. So this is Sam, Jack of all, master of none. You all have a good one.